We ate nothing but chicken and broccoli for 1 week. Here's what happened. When you're doing a photo shoot, when you're getting ready for a bodybuilding competition, a lot of times you'll see people right when they're nearing the finish line, they really up it to the maximum level. They start to do things like just have vegetables, lean meats, no extra additives such as sugar. So we wanted to do the same thing. What would happen if you were to just eat chicken and broccoli, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 7 straight days? Will we get super lean? Will we look the best that we've ever been? Or will we just be depleted, tired, and completely out of energy? Well, we're about to find out. Wish us luck.
Are you tired of easy-to-make, super delicious chocolatey sugar-filled cereals? Do you crave bland, hard-to-chew food with the consistency of cardboard? Well, say hello to Buff Dudes Chicken and Broccoli Cereal. Packed with protein and fiber, it's cereal that packs a bowel-loosening punch. Eat Buff Dudes Chicken and Broccoli Cereal and it'll be a free wheeling, kiss stealing, muscles the power of super healing. Blue, Bassett, magnitude, never been accused of being approved. Shove it in your face, my little dude, you'll have the freaky fitness fortitude. Woo! Buff Dudes Chicken and Broccoli Cereal. Eat it, because no one else will.
Another day, another food challenge. It is day 1 of the extreme bodybuilding competition diet. Only chicken and broccoli for, thankfully in this case, a week. Now we've done a lot of these food videos in the past, kind of these experiments, where we try something out for a month to see how we feel on it, give our take on it, and kind of see how our bodies react to it. Okay, first things first, we got the chicken. We're gonna go with frozen, at least I am. It's a lot easier. You can just put it in the freezer, it can keep for a long time. You buy a lot of it. And I'm just gonna go with chicken tenders. They're just really easy to cook. You can cook a lot of them at once. They're kind of just that perfect kind of finger food. You can kind of eat one at a time. But you can see this bag is 2.5 pounds, so I'm probably gonna be eating about 2 bags worth a day to get the proper calorie count. It's gonna be a lot of protein, not a lot of fat, and not a lot of carbs in this. So yeah, I'm just basically gonna stock up on the chicken. This is probably one of the most easiest shopping lists ever. Basically just chicken and broccoli, and that's it. So we're just getting 2 things. Wow, makes it easy. So we got frozen broccoli as well. Another way to easily keep food for an extended period of time rather than getting fresh. You know, it can go bad fairly quickly. So if you're gonna get fresh, you're gonna have to eat it right away, cook it and eat it. But frozen, you can pretty much just keep it in the freezer and be ready for whenever you want it. So I'm gonna stock up on a lot of this frozen broccoli, so that way whenever I need it, I can just grab it out of the freezer and have it ready for me. So very simple and easy way. But I think we'll probably get a few fresh things here and there along the week-long journey. Here we go, frozen broccoli, simple, easy, and you can buy a lot of it, which is good. So we're in the condiment section, and one of the rules we're gonna go by is make sure we're very careful on what condiments we use. We wanna make sure we stay away from condiments that are gonna add any extra calories, any extra sugar. We wanna make sure we use things like mustard or hot sauce that don't have any calories, don't have any sugar in it. So that way we can still add a little flavor to chicken, but we're not going outside the bounds of basically just having chicken and broccoli, or at least the calories and the macronutrients from that. So yeah, at least we're gonna have a little flavor. That's gonna be nice. So we are at the spice section here, and much like condiments, we wanna make sure we grab something that doesn't add any extra calories or sugar or anything like that. Keep it very simple. I mean, you can't beat the classics like salt and pepper, but of course you can add extra things like, I don't know, garlic salt or chili powder, paprika, or whatever kind of, you know, spices up your chicken. In this case, for us, chicken. That's about it. So yeah, I mean, you can really grab whatever you want. And that's a good thing about spices. There's so many options available, and there's so many different combinations you can do to make it a little bit interesting. I mean, that's kind of the part about making food, is you can make it how you want it to make sure that you actually enjoy eating it. So we're gonna probably be grabbing a few things here and there to make sure once we barbecue our chicken, we can make it taste damn good.
It is day 2, all the food has been purchased, and I just wanted to go over the calories and macros. Thankfully with this diet, it's super easy because you're basically eating the same thing every single day. So what I did is I just meal prepped like crazy on Sunday. I got everything ready, and now over the course of day 1 and day 2, I've been eating the exact same thing. It's come out to 55 ounces of lean chicken meat and 11 cups of broccoli. The calories on that is 2,200. The carbohydrates are 72, 22 of that, which is fiber, the fats at 42, and the protein at a pretty obnoxious 340 grams. Now, typically, I don't like to go over about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and that's kind of maxing it out. I mean, typically for me, it'll be between like 0.7 grams to 1 gram. So 340, that's way over my weight, which makes sense because so much of what I'm eating is coming from the chicken. And thankfully I did get some chicken that did contain a little bit of fat as well, because of course you want to try and have some fat in your diet. You don't want to cut it out completely, but this is definitely a different macro split than I'm used to. And I can't really tell if I'm adjusting to it yet. It's still pretty easy. I marinated the chicken in a little bit of zero sugar sauce, so it is tasty, thankfully. I am cooking and steaming the broccoli. I haven't quite gotten sick of it yet, although it was definitely a shock to have it for breakfast these past 2 days. So calories and macros are lined out, meal prep is good. Now I just sit back and see if I can keep eating the same thing over and over for another 5 days.
– 3 days in to the chicken and broccoli diet, hitting a workout in, kind of have to do it together because I think we both need a little bit of motivation. Energy levels are a little low, a little hard to get this one done, and we're having chicken, we're having broccoli, we're having water, and thank God we decided to have a little caffeine in the form of coffee as well, because definitely needing it. I was lagging big time, feel a little bit better now, always feel a little bit better when I got my heart rate up, got the workout going, but today, more than any day so far, I am feeling the effects of having a very low carb, very low sugar diet. Yeah, it's always kind of funny when a lot of, when you see athletes, especially bodybuilders, they look really good, lean, basically like they're kind of like specimens of a human being, but really they're at their weakest. When you have a diet like this, where you're just kind of cutting everything out, you get leaner, but you don't feel good at all. So it's kind of funny how the difference is, where you might look good, but you definitely don't feel that good. You look good, but inside you feel like shit. Oh yeah, yeah, feeling good. Well, maybe not feeling that good.
Rumor around the street is you're made out of broccoli. Is that true?
Smells like broccoli.
They say you are what you eat, and I feel like looking in the mirror, I'm starting to look a little bit like skin chicken. Maybe it's good we're only going for a week. I don't really want that super lean, nothing but veins and muscle look. The strength levels have definitely gone down, As I said before, having Brandon here as a training partner really helps to keep me motivated. I think if it was by myself, I'd be very sluggish. We're still keeping the rest times relatively short, and we're really kind of relying on each other to get ourselves through this, but there's no doubt that I'm feeling a little bit weaker and not having as much energy as I usually do. Just finished up the basement workout, and I gotta be honest, that was a little painful for me. It was really hard to get through that.
But another workout done, another step closer to finishing this
goddamn food experiment.
All right, here we go. It is day 4, and it has been quite the journey thus far. I have to say it's a little bit more difficult than I originally thought it would be, mainly because I've had some experience eating like this in the past, you know, doing some photo shoots for some fitness magazines. Usually they would call up and give you 2 weeks ahead of time, and you'd be like, well shit, I gotta get ready. So immediately you jump on a very strict eating schedule, do a lot of cardio, and your workouts would increase to make sure you look your best possible for the photo shoot. Of course, you'd shave and tan and all that kind of stuff. The kind of classic, you know, fitness / bodybuilding type look. So this time around I was like, you know, this challenge, be a piece of cake, I've done it before, but I don't know what it is, but it just seems a lot more difficult than it used to. Probably because it's just a little bit more strict as well. You're only having 2 foods, chicken and broccoli, so it just gets so old. I feel like I don't really have much of an appetite. I don't look forward to eating, and when I finally do sit down and eat, it just takes me so damn long to eat every bite. I mean, every bite seems like a chore. Everyone around me has finished their food and I still have a full plate. And I'm like, I gotta finish this thing to make sure I get enough calories and I'm not whittling away. You know, thankfully it's only for a week. If I felt like I had to eat like this for a longer amount of time, I'd probably go insane. But you know, of course, the benefits are you lean out, you lose weight, and of course it's easy to cook, it's cheap as well. But the drawbacks would probably be when you purge like this, when you kind of crash diet, afterward, you're gonna wanna binge. So you're gonna have to try to not do that. A lot of those bodybuilders post-competition, they'll just binge on everything around them, cake and donuts and, you know, cereal or whatever it is, just because they haven't had that for so long. And I mean, if you do that for a short amount of time, that might be all right, but if you continue to do that, obviously everything you worked toward before that kind of goes to waste. So you just have to be very careful. That's why crash dieting is probably not the best way to go about things. It's more of a well-rounded diet, you know, longer term, to make sure you're always healthy and you're always looking good rather than kind of yo-yoing like that. But here we go. We only have a few days left and I'm looking forward to the end result to see how it all turns out. Yeah.
It is day 5, and that makes it about my 15th chicken and broccoli meal. And in the meantime, I've had to think of some creative ways to vary them up a little bit. There's not a lot you can do, but I've done a few things, like I'll use chicken broth to make a little bit of soup. So I have chicken and broccoli soup. I will rice the broccoli to kind of give it a little bit more texture and feel. That way it tastes a little bit more like rice alongside my chicken. And then of course I've been barbecuing the 2 of them like crazy, which I've got to say is probably my favorite way of eating it. It, for the most part, tastes pretty damn good. But again, God, those breakfasts are just so hard to eat that chicken and broccoli. It doesn't feel right, you know? Lunch and dinner, I could probably do that for a long period of time, but breakfast, it just kind of hurts. So it is, I got 2 days left of this, and each day is getting just a little harder than the last.
It's time for the shave and tan segment. And if anyone knows anything about bodybuilding, when you shave and tan, you have to get everything, because when you're on stage, you never know what's gonna show. So, oh yeah, I went with the short shorts. I figured I'd spare you guys everything else. And as far as the shaving goes, I'm gonna go ahead and skip that because I got a lot of hair and it's taking me a long time to grow this out. I don't really feel like going through all the time and effort of shaving, so I'm gonna go right to the tanning. And of course I have my lovely tanning assistant here, my girlfriend Michaela. She's gonna help me out, get all those hard to reach places. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Nice. So that was the first layer, and we'll probably let it dry for a little bit. Do a second layer because we got to get that nice deep tan. Look good. It's a little mini competition me and Hudson have. Who's gonna be more tan? There we go, all tanned out. We're gonna let it sit in, and I think what, I'm gonna take a shower tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, take a shower tomorrow, kind of rinse it off a little bit, and be ready to carb up, get a badass workout in.
Yeah. As you can see, I already have a nice, healthy little farmer's tan here, but that's, I'm gonna need a little bit more than just that. I was very naive about how the whole bodybuilding competition culture worked, and I remember the first time going to Brandon's bodybuilding competition when we were both teenagers. We'd really just been preparing on our own, working out from home. It was very trial and error because you didn't have the wealth of information as you do now on the internet, so we were kind of just going through magazines at the store we could find, seeing what other people used, and it was hard to tell what would work for a teenager. So Brandon basically more or less just ate chicken and broccoli, and there's a very particular smell that the fake tanning chemicals let off. So the whole room was just filled with the smell of that, chicken and broccoli. Those are two very different skin tones. He's looking at me like, who are you? I didn't know my daddy was an Oompa Loompa. So when we started this experiment, I weighed in first thing in the morning on an empty stomach on a Monday morning. And for the final weigh-in, it's again on a Sunday morning with a completely empty stomach. And it is absolutely amazing the amount of weight that I've lost. Usually you want to lose about 2 pounds a week. That would be a healthy amount if you want to retain muscle mass. Well, I've lost way more than that, so that's a little scary. Of course, with that, I'm sure it comes a little bit of water weight and all that good stuff, so it's not a perfect indication, but at the same time, I really don't feel comfortable with losing that much, and I'm a little scared of how much I would continue to lose if I just stayed on this exclusive chicken and broccoli diet.
Okay, so it is the morning of, and it's time to weigh in to see how much weight I've lost. Whew, 220. Looks like I lost quite a bit.
This experiment is over, and carbs, well, they're back on the menu. Yeah. $215.4. That's that's a little scary. It was a little scary at the end of the experiment because I'd lost so much weight, and now it's equally a little frightening because I put so much back on. And that's the thing when doing something such as this with the chicken and broccoli. That's all you're eating. You're gonna deplete yourself like crazy. You're gonna drop a lot of weight. Like we said earlier in the video, of course it's good for something such as a photo shoot or maybe a competition, but in the long run, at least in our opinion, it's not really sustainable because as you can see, I put it right back on. I'm feeling great, but at the same time, I'm not gonna kick myself because I kind of knew this is what was gonna happen. So would I use this diet in the future? Maybe, if there was something like a photo shoot where I had to be in tip-top shape, definitely, but is it sustainable in the long run? Definitely not. A crash diet like this is only good in the short term. You know, we've had a lot of better benefits in a well-rounded diet. Long term, we've gotten a lot bigger, had more muscle mass. Of course, like Hudson was saying, in the long term, it's just a little too restrictive and it probably wouldn't be that sustainable. Having said that, I'm really happy to be able to have a few other things than chicken and broccoli. Yeah. Back to the well-rounded diet. Exactly. So let us know if you want to see some more diet experiments in the future. And until next time, yeah, stay buff.